Hello, my name is Jackie Rose. I am a student at Grand Canyon University, currently in course BIB 360. Today's study will be in Matthew chapter 8, verses 14 through 17, which is paralleled in Mark 1, 29 through 31, and Luke 4, 36 through 39. A little background on Mark. Mark is the first gospel in the New Testament. It is believed that it was written between 50 and 100 AD. It's believed also that Matthew utilized the Gospel of Mark when writing his own gospel, as about 90% is reproduced in his gospel. When looking at Matthew, we have to understand where he came from. When Jesus called him, he was known as Levi, and he was a tax collector for the Romans, which was a very despicable position as far as the Hebrew people looked upon, because the tax collectors oppressed the Jewish people. So let us start in verse 14 in chapter 8 of Matthew. Now when Jesus had come into Peter's house, he saw his wife's mother lying sick with fever. So he touched her hand, and the fever left her, and she arose and served him. When evening had come, they brought to him many who were demon-possessed, and he cast out the spirits with a word, and he healed all who were sick, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by Isaiah the prophet, saying, he himself took our infirmities and bore our sickness. Now, looking at the original context, the original manuscript, when Jesus walked into Peter's house, he didn't just see Peter's wife's mother laying there. She was incapacitated. She was burning up with fever. He reached down and took hold of her. And when he did, her fever left. She was healed immediately. And then she went to serve him. Not them, but him. She served Christ. In the term served, it doesn't mean that she fixed him something to eat. It means that she was like ministering to him. She was a devoted servant. She was there for whatever he wanted her to do. She had a great desire to serve him. Now, when evening had come, and the importance in this was by looking at the other Gospels. We see that this was a Sabbath, as Jesus and Simon Peter and the others had returned from the synagogue where Christ had been teaching. They waited until evening came, because the Jewish days are based on daylight. So once evening came, they brought Christ, these people that were demon-possessed, who were ill, and with a word, he cast out the demons. He rebuked them. He liberated them. And he healed all. Now, by looking at the prophet Isaiah, he himself took our infirmities and bore our sickness. Jesus Christ is being shown a link between Old Testament prophecy and his fulfillment as a suffering servant, as he took on. He didn't just heal, but he took our suffering upon himself. We need to understand that we have a healing God. Jehovah Rapha, the God who heals. We have to understand that we have a healing Messiah, that he liberates the oppressed, and that he is a servant. And there's a cost for being his follower. And we need to be servants first. Thank you, and this concludes our lesson.